Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap. I'm Jarret Johnson, and Texas Tech basketball returned to the court after some time off for Christmas break, of course, and they returned victorious as the Red Raiders dispatched Incarnate Word 79-51 as expected. But the big news on the night was the season debut of sophomore wing guard Kevin McCullar. And man, he made a sparkling season debut as he ended up tying for the team high with 11 points. He also had 3 rebounds and 2 assists in about 12 minutes. The team was, I think, plus 14 with him on the court in his short time. So Kevin McCullar looked very good. He moved very well. He obviously knows the offense and the defense and knows what the coaches want from him after this is actually his 3rd year in the season. He redshirted that year. They went to the Final Four, but he was there. I mean, he was there in the locker room. He traveled with the team and everything as he recovered from injury. And then last year, he started kind of slow as a redshirt freshman, but by the end of the year, I mean, he was, you could argue, the best player on the team. He started, I believe, the last 6 games. He averaged about 10 points and 7 rebounds in the last 5 games of the season. And he looked really good Tuesday night in the victory. I think, obviously, it's good. Like, it was a good overall team effort. The Red Raiders played very well. Most of us good players played like, they were ready to go, ready to get back into conference play, which, by the way, they'll dive right back into that just on Saturday as they host Oklahoma State, 3 p.m. at the USA. But they looked ready. They looked good. Bottom line, though, Kevin McCullar's return was the big story. It's really good to see him returning. Coach Beard mentioned Wednesday, as Mighty Joe posted in a couple of his stories, that Coach Beard was kind of hinting that, look, not only is McCullar going to come back soon, but he's going to come back ready to play. And, I know the competition was Incarnate Word, but still, I mean, it's Division I basketball, and, he looked ready to go. And so that's really exciting. I think when you start looking at lineups where it's like McClung, who had a good night, by the way, like 8 points, 7 rebounds, a couple steals, a couple assists. He looked really good. It was very efficient. They didn't really need a lot from him, but he did play well. But anyways, when you start imagining him and Shannon, who also had another good game without having to score a lot, Peavy, McCullar, Santos Silva, you start looking at like, man, this team has a lot of talent. It's like you get the full complement of this talented team, and you start seeing why they're ranked number 13th in the country. So they're off to an 8-2 start, 1-1 in the conference. They split. They lost a close one to Kansas at home, but then beat Oklahoma on the road. They have Oklahoma State coming up on Saturday at 3 p.m. So that's the big picture. Now diving into the game as far as tonight, Texas Tech's victory. I'll give you some stats here. I already gave you some of the individual ones. Here's some other ones. Peavy had 7 points. Santos Silva tied with McCullar for the team lead, team high in points with 11. But he also had, 4 rebounds, and just a good night overall. I thought Jamarius Burton had a pretty good game. He had a nice dunk, 4 points, 1 rebound. He didn't play a whole lot, a couple steals just in 19 minutes. A couple of other guys I want to mention, off the bench, Avery Benson knocked down 2 threes. That was fun to see. And Vlad Golden, I think they pronounce it Goldine. I'm not going to do that right now. I mean, come on. I'm not Russian. He's golden. He's Vlad. He's golden. He had a golden performance with a couple of dunks. Him and Tyreek both threw down some really nice dunks. And that was really nice to see. You want to see those guys come on. Agbo hit a 3. Burnett scored 6 points and had 4 assists. He led the team with 4 assists. So that's good to see. And overnight, it was just a really positive night. I think just pretty much with the foundation of all that being, yes, they got the win. And the game was really never in doubt. At one point, when they had like the main guys in there, they were up 60-30. Though the score wasn't really indicative of how the game wasn't that competitive. Yes, they won the game. They looked good, so that's good. But then after that, McCullar's return, huge news, and it just kind of seeing the possibilities, the potential that could be with this team, especially as, they get ready because it's going to be tough. Now, not necessarily right off the bat. The Oklahoma State's really hungry for a win. They're a good team. They're hungry. They're 0-2 in the Big 12, 6-2 overall. They're hungry for that first conference victory. But then you start, there's some maybe if you want to say, I hesitate to say this because it's Big 12 play, but some of the easier games in conference. I mean, you got Baylor and Texas coming up. Some big games coming up, and then the end of the schedule is just really tough. And even your lone remaining out of conference game is against LSU, who's good. I wouldn't say dominant, but you got to play them there. And these Big 12 SEC Challenge games can be kind of wacky. So Texas Tech has already posted 8 wins. They have a tough schedule ahead of them, but really great news tonight at the USA coming off the holiday break or the Christmas break. So can't wait to see what they do against Oklahoma State. We'll have more coverage for you from that on Saturday. But with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.